What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the North podcast. Obviously, as you can see, it is just me and Miller today. Uh, we are not with Geek. Geek is seeing Guardians of the Galaxy without us, and so he's not going to make it this time. So yeah, like I said, just me and Miller. And what we got for you guys today is a listener mailbag. We did one of those earlier on the podcast, and I figured we'd come back to that. So we got about 17 questions to get through here. Like I said, it'll just be me and good old Miller answering them. But before we get into that, Miller, how you doing?
I'm doing awful. I'm gonna say I'm 95% sure I have COVID. I've definitely got the symptoms, and my mom and my sister tested positive within the last 4 days. I haven't tested positive because I haven't been tested, but I would say it's pretty safe to assume I got the COVID wovie, unfortunately.
That
And
is certainly tough.
indeed,
That is
I think
certainly a tough drop.
this man's alarm's going off. How
Yeah, dude.
unprofessional.
Okay, it's because I was preparing for the inevitable reality of me falling asleep before we started recording.
Fair. Oh, all right. Question time. I actually, before we get into questions, Jake, how are you today?
All right, all right. Yeah, so getting right into talking about our questions. First one we got here, um, in honor of Star Wars Day, which technically on the time of recording it's not, but in honor of Star Wars Day, what is your favorite Star Wars project? Um, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I'm pretty vocal in saying that the best piece of Star Wars media by far is the Clone Wars animated television show. It's just, I could go on for about 20 minutes about how much I love it and all the little things I love, but like, just to be specific, what they did with the clones and making them each their own unique character with unique personalities, and D. Bradley Baker somehow giving the clones their own unique voices just blows my mind. Like the fact that outside of the Bad Batch, they are all genetically the same. Yet when someone talks off screen, you can be like, "Oh, that's Rex talking off screen," or "Oh, that's Cody talking off screen," even though it's literally the same voice. It's just the slight inflections in his voice that are different. Like it blows my mind. And Rex's story arc. I know Anakin's like the best story arc of all time. I don't care. Rex's is my favorite. Going from the loyal soldier who will do anything to stay on mission to the ultimate rebel, so to speak. Finding his place in the world and whatnot is awesome. And I just love the
Stuff.
Clone Wars. It's what I grew up on.
Yeah. For me, okay. Start this off by saying, all right. Earlier today, I went to go see the Return of the Jedi re-release in theaters, and that movie is quite boring. Um, the not like the end part of it is fantastic. Like the second and third act of that movie are fantastic, but the front end of that movie moves so slowly, and I think I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but the
It
first
is just you. You're
minute
just a
I
moron.
almost dozed off. Not gonna lie to you,
This
um,
man doesn't
but it's a
appreciate
good movie.
cinema.
It's a good movie. My favorite piece of Star Wars. The boring answer is Revenge of the Sith for me, just because it's my favorite Star Wars movie. Uh, I think that a pretty underrated pick. I think Star Wars Rebels is pretty good. I think Rebels is pretty good. I think I if I'm gonna go animated, it'd probably be the Clone Wars still. But I just want to give a shout out to Star Wars Rebels. But I'm gonna go Revenge of the Sith. It's a boring answer, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The only thing I've seen from Rebels is the arc where they run into Rex and Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka fights Vader. That
Yeah.
is literally all I have seen from that show. I know
Hmm.
nothing else about it, which is
It's
probably not a good
yeah.
thing since Ahsoka's coming out soon. I should probably catch up on that
That is
when I
true.
get time.
Yeah. Um, and then rolling right into this one, who is your dark horse for the Super Bowl or playoffs next year? Um, for the Super Bowl to win it, my dark horse is Probably. Do you consider San Francisco a dark horse?
Uh, I don't.
I feel like they're too mainstream.
It kind of depends on how you weigh like their quarterback situation and how much you think losing D'Amico is going to matter. Although they replaced D'Amico with another fantastic DC that I can't remember the
Right,
name of. Dude from
right.
Carolina.
Oh, I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Ah, God, that's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna look this up real quick. So like,
Um,
I don't think I'd consider them a dark horse just because San Fran's always kind of in
to
it.
win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna say Baltimore.
I
Um,
can see that.
to
Steve
make
Wilkes, that's his name.
Oh, Steve Wilkes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No,
And
I
then
knew it was something simple. I just couldn't think of it.
just to make the playoffs, I'm gonna say Washington. Yeah, Washington.
Um, dark horse for Super Bowl's tough because there's realistically like four teams that can do anything. I guess I'd also go with Baltimore. I guess new offensive coordinator. Lamar's paid. He's got weapons. They can stay healthy. I can see it.
Yeah,
In dark horse for playoffs, I got to go with the Bears. There's a world where they make it this year with how bad the NFC is,
yeah,
especially with how bad the NFC North is.
yeah.
Like Detroit's still not serious. Okay, Green Bay is starting a rebuild. Minnesota's good. Like I'm not going to trash Minnesota. They're easily the best team in the division.
Yeah.
Um, but like outside of that, the Bucks are going to fall off a cliff. The 49ers could fall off depending on what they do at quarterback. I'm convinced if they start Purdy all year, it's not going to end well. The Rams already fell off, but they're going to stay down. Uh, I don't. Who else is even in the NFC that matters? The Cardinals aren't going to do anything because Kyler's going to be hurt all year. Not that they
Mhm.
would do anything.
Like the
Um,
Seahawks or the Cowboys or other teams that would probably be in that wild card spots.
yeah, if they don't win their division, I could see both of those teams making a push for their division, depending on how Dak plays this year, and then like I said, kind of
Right.
depending
So
on
I
what
guess it's
happens with the
either
Niners and quarterbacks.
the Cowboys or the Eagles, which
Right.
but yeah, I could see where Chicago makes it.
They'd be the seventh seed and get knocked out in the first round, kind of like Philly did a couple years ago when they went up against Tampa.
Yeah, that would be the identical situation. They'd play
That
like
yeah,
whoever it is and get steamrolled and
yeah,
not be able to
pretty
move the ball on
much.
offense at all. And
Well, no, it
then
wouldn't be
next
our
year they'll come
offense that
back
would
and make the
cost
Super
us.
Bowl.
It would be our defense
So
that cost us.
yeah, but just think the year after that they'll make the Super Bowl and Justin Fields will be
Yeah,
an MVP candidate. So
yeah.
there it
No,
is.
that, it's crazy to think that though. Just like as a side tangent, for once, the reason the Bears are going to lose this year isn't because of their offense. It's
Right.
because of their defense.
Yep.
Because the offense looks really good now. Like
Mhm.
Poles went off this offseason.
Cook.
It's just the defense. We still don't have a pass rush.
Nope.
We got some interior pass rush, but we still don't have any competent
Any
edge
edge
rushers.
rushers? Yep.
But there's still money there. You can sign Clowney, sign Ngakwe, go trade for Chase Young if that's a real thing. They could make a move there. I wouldn't want them to like force a move, obviously, but they could hypothetically.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I could see it happening. Um, next one, I don't know how much you're gonna have to weigh in on this one.
Is it the
Uh,
Budenholzer thing?
yeah, thoughts on the Bucks firing Budenholzer?
Uh-oh.
um,
Booty
yeah,
did an
listen,
oopsie.
Budenholzer is he is just another Mike McCarthy in the Wisconsin sports era. He's a guy who is
Future Mavericks head coach.
kind of
Respect.
like a mid tier coach who had one superstar player, won a ring with that player when they were very young, and now will never do that again, most likely. And he got an extension. It was bad. I think this team was way too talented to get beat by the Miami Heat in the first round as a
Hey,
one seed two.
hey, respect Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's
Okay.
fantastic. Okay,
Playoff
but
Jimmy Butler is the greatest player of all time. Put some respect on
yeah,
his name.
Jimmy Butler's fantastic. It's just a one
That's all
seed,
you need.
especially the Bucks, who were like the consensus best team in basketball all year, should not be losing in the first round. And a lot of
That's what
that
happens when
is,
you get put up against Timmy Butler.
I, I guess, but a lot of that comes from
That's just the way the
Budenholzer's
cookie crumbles.
coaching. Yeah, it happened. It happened against the my Raptors in 2019 too. The Bucks completely had that
Yeah,
series
against
in
some
hand,
bums.
and then just. Are you serious right now?
Is that the year they won the
That is
finals?
the year they won the finals. First of all, 2019.
Nah,
They
Kawhi was
they
on
were
that
up.
team. I gotta respect him.
Yeah, they were up 2-0 against the Raptors and blew it. So Budenholzer bad, firing good. Although they still owe him a bunch of money, so that's not good.
And isn't he also like in a
Um,
tough spot off the court right now? Didn't
who?
his brother just die? Budenholzer? Was that a different coach?
I think something happened. I don't know for sure, but
I want to say it was
I think you are right.
Budenholzer. I think his brother died, which very unfortunate.
Very
May
unfortunate
he rest
news.
in peace. Poor guy's
Um,
having a tough time.
yeah, yeah, he
It's
is.
okay. When he gets hired by the Dallas Mavericks here in about 4 years, it'll all work out. Okay.
It'll all work out. He'll be fine. Um, what's next? Oh, way too early NFC playoff picture.
Oh God. Like I said, the big wild card in the NFC for me this year is what happens with the Niners quarterback situation. Because I mean, obviously it's Shanahan. They're going to win games with their quarterback no matter what.
Hmm.
But like they're sticking. Like Trey Lance is still on the team. If he comes out and plays like this quarterback he's supposed to, then the Niners could be the 1 seed. Or if they stick with Purdy and he skids like he's inevitably going to, they could be a wild card team, and that's going to be a big thing. But I would say Philly and Minnesota are probably the top two teams because of that. Unless, am I missing someone there?
No, I don't think so.
No, because the NFC South sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be those two. The NFC South, I don't even know where to begin with that team. I'd love to see Atlanta win that division just because it means they'd be relying heavy on their run game. They would literally just be running the ball down people's throats and sliding into the playoffs at like 7-10.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and then the West, like I said, it's going to depend on what happens with their quarterback. So I think it will either be the Niners or the Seahawks, and then the other team will be the wild card. And then I would say Dallas, and then like I said, Chicago are your wild card teams. Call me
Yeah.
optimistic. I don't care. I'll probably change my thoughts on that here in a week when the draft, the newness of the draft. What's the word? The honeymoon phase of the draft wears off, and I remember that the Bears are the Bears, but
Right.
I don't care.
A man can dream.
Yes,
Um,
Commanders
for
could also be in there too.
yeah,
Just
for
if we're being
me,
realistic.
my division winners. I'm not gonna try and seed them. My four division winners are Carolina, Minnesota, Philly, and San Francisco. And my wild card is probably Seattle, Detroit, and then Washington. Probably Seattle, Dallas, Detroit. I'm gonna say Seattle, Dallas, Detroit. I think Detroit could do the thing you're talking about with the Bears and make the 7th seed and get the break speed off of them in the first round. I could
That's
see
also
them slipping
possible.
into it just because of how good that offense can be, although they are hurting a little bit on that sense. Um,
They don't have Goff, or they do have Goff,
they do have
which is the
Goff.
problem.
Yeah,
And
if
they're
they
not
didn't
going to
have
have
Goff, it'd
JMO. They're
be
not
a
going to have a couple other guys. Although I think the rest of
yeah,
the guys were depth pieces. They
yeah.
s-
They just cut the ones that they could. They're just like, yeah, you're gone.
yeah, their starting tight end is Sam Laporta, which is unserious. Um,
Hey, you're right.
no,
Yeah,
Sam
you're
Laporta
right.
is not good.
Yeah, you're right.
He can't block. He can't catch. What the hell's he doing at tight end? He's
Running,
athletic.
running
Ooh,
around,
he's athletic.
running
Ooh,
after
Cole
the one
Kmet's
catch he
better.
does make.
Bears have
Yeah.
two tight ends better than anyone on Detroit. That's all I care about.
Oh,
Tunyon.
Tunyon. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
respect your former boy and
Oh, I'm a
lifelong
big
Chicago
fan.
Bear fan, Robert Tunyon.
Big fan of Tunyon. He signed in one Chicago, baby. Finally gets his opportunity. I'm so excited for him.
Yeah, I saw a
Um,
picture of him today wearing a Brian Urlacher jersey, standing in front of a signed, mounted Urlacher jersey, and that made my day. He's a real Chicago kid.
Schrader. I hate him. No, I love him.
He was
Um,
ours first.
he didn't play for you guys. He just liked you
Okay,
guys.
but what's more
That's like
important? Your
49ers
childhood
fans
favorite.
saying
What's
that
more?
Rodgers was theirs first.
Okay,
Like,
listen. What's more important? What's more important? The team that you root for your entire life, or the team that you spend like 5 years on?
I suppose the team that you root for your entire
Yeah,
life.
Rodgers is different because Rodgers played for y'all for like a decade.
Yeah.
Tunyon was in Green Bay for what, like 6 years?
4, I
Yeah.
think.
See, that's a little
Yeah.
bit different.
He'll be a Bear for 1 year. Chill,
I
chill,
think he'll be
relax.
around, and I think he'll stay in Chicago for longer than that. If he has a good year as their second tight end and is solidly
First.
productive, I think he'll get another year.
I don't
If
want
he
to
gets
see
like
that.
400 yards, I think they'll give him another contract. That's all you need out of him is like 400 yards,
He'll get that
if
in
that.
one game, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the game where Cole decides to take a day off because he wants to let Tunyon eat.
Yeah.
After Cole's already put up 75,000 in the first 3 weeks, he'll be like, "All right, Bobby, it's your turn."
Yeah, I've done my part. Um,
I already broke my records. I'm already better than
he's
you.
already locked into the MVP spot.
Oh my god, I want to live in a world where a tight end wins MVP.
You want to or you don't?
I do very
Okay.
badly. That would be
I
beautiful.
what would have to happen?
You'd have to put up like
Like
3,000 yards or some shit.
I genuinely think if the receiver cap is 2,000, the tight end cap's probably at least 2,500 and like
Probably.
20 touchdowns, which
Kelsey would have to break like 6 tight end
I feel like
records.
Kelsey's the only one who has the opportunity to get that much volume.
Yeah. I mean, that's what would have to happen. God forbid, but it would have to be like Mahomes gets hurt and they've got some backup in for the whole year
Mm,
and Kelsey just goes off with the backup.
yeah,
That's
but
what it would have to be.
I just want to live in a world where a tight end wins an award, like Offensive Player of the Year. That would also be nice. Um,
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts
Only
this
thing
year.
that would come close to making me as happy as a fullback winning an award would be a tight end or a off-ball linebacker.
Yeah,
The league don't care about him no more,
don't worry,
except for Detroit.
Kyle Juszczyk Offensive Player of the Year season. It's coming. It's
Dude, if that
coming.
happens, I will be the most insufferable person on the planet. You have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what you would do. I don't know what you would
I,
do.
I don't I don't know what I would do either. That's the thing. Like, I don't think I could like what's the word? I don't think I could portray my joy if that were to happen. I think I would just have to like make a TikTok that's like 15 seconds long of just like the tweet of Kyle Juszczyk, like the graphic they tweet out when the player wins the award, and I
Yeah.
would probably just sit there staring at the camera with my jaw dropped for 15 seconds. That would be my response. That would be my TikTok. I'll make a YouTube video where I just do the same thing but for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's not like a cycle thing. It's just 10 consecutive minutes of you doing it, just raw,
Yeah,
unedited footage.
yeah.
Yeah.
With like use check highlights playing in front of me. I put myself in like a little box up in the corner. My
It's like
jaw's dropped. It's just use check scoring tight
it's like the Subway
touchdowns.
Surfers thing that you see on TikTok. It's like it's you and then it's Kyle Juszczyk highlights.
No,
Um,
it's me in the corner, and then use check highlights, and then Subway Surfers, and then
Subway
Family
Surfer on
Guy
the
funny
bottom,
moments.
just all on the bottom, just
It's 3 layers.
complete the algorithm. Yeah.
And then the title's like total clickbait. It's like Kyle Juszczyk fucked my wife, not clickbait.
Kyle Juszczyk completely ruined my family.
Kyle Juszczyk saved me.
Kyle Juszczyk saved my kid from a burning building.
Kyle Juszczyk saved me mid heart attack by performing CPR in front of a crowd of thousands live at Coachella. Gone
Live
wrong,
at
gone sexual?
Coachella.
Question mark.
You gotta have the question mark in there, or else people aren't gonna take it seriously.
Right, right, right.
Right. This one, oh,
Jesus Christ, that sick brain go crazy, don't it?
it does. It does.
This is the most energy I've had all day, and it's fucking 12:17 at night. Anyways, what's the next question?
uh, of everyone on the podcast, open shot. Fate of the universe on the line. The Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. Which one of you is most likely to hit a half court shot? I'm
Okay.
almost 1,000% convinced it's me.
Do you have a basketball background?
Uh, Slightly. Not like I didn't like grow up playing basketball, but when I
Do you
got
hoop on
to
the side?
when I got to college, uh,
Okay.
my floor was super into it, and like we did intramurals and stuff. So I played
Okay.
basketball for like pretty much every day of the spring semester.
Okay.
So unless you or Geek is packing some kind of elite basketball like
Nah, dude,
package,
I'd be
then
putting up those like 0 for 4 with 12 assists and 8 rebound stat lines, 3
fair,
turnovers.
fair.
Like I'm basically Big Baby Glenn Davis out there, but like maybe a little more competent. And I don't know about Geek. Geek was a football guy. He played kicker. I don't know if he
Geek was
was
a
a
kicker.
basketball
Yeah, I don't
man.
know if he was a basketball connoisseur or
Is he
not.
allowed to kick the ball from half court?
If Geek could kick a football from half court into the hoop, that would be infinitely cooler than either of us actually making a shot.
No.
Um,
But yeah, if that's the case, I'm gonna go with you too.
I think it would. I think it would be me. I
Jake
think.
Cox hoops.
I think one day. I think one day we need to settle this on the court, but we'll get to that.
We'll make a
Um,
video like he who shall not be named from Stay Hot being like, they don't think I can dunk, but I'm that fucking guy, and then dunking. They don't think I can make a half court shot, but they don't know that Jake's that freaking guy because you don't say fuck. And
right.
then you just hit a half court shot. Goes
I
viral.
think that should be
J
my
Pow
next.
NFL duets it.
I honestly
Recites
think
it
that
word for
should be
word.
my Run the North Pod video for tomorrow. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna go to my park and hit a half court shot first try. Um,
Make it like a challenge. Every shot you miss, you have to say one nice thing about Cole Kmet.
oh,
But you're allowed to start off tame. You're allowed to be like, I like his hair, and then you have
I
to kind of build up.
okay. I like that.
Yeah,
I
you can be
like
like, I like his hair. He has a nice beard, and then
his
eventually you have to go to like,
brother-in-law. His future brother-in-law is a Packer. You know,
hey,
stuff like that.
let's not assume they're gonna get married. We don't know.
His
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 sister's
sister's
boyfriend.
boyfriend is a Packer. um, next one. Why is
That was
Hingle
from the Walter White seal, right? That
McCringleberry?
last one.
Yeah, yes.
My goat.
Why is Hingle McCringleberry the best tight end in football? He's not, sadly.
Do I?
Kelsey
I mean,
Wipes.
no, no,
Yes,
no.
yes.
Comet wipes.
Oh, whatever. Are we on the same page? Okay, first of all, I need to make sure I know who Hingle McCringleberry is. Is that the guy that
He's
Keegan Michael Key portrays?
yes, it's
That
one of
he did
the
that he
East West Ball characters.
that he did the award. Okay, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, Kelsey better. All I'm saying.
that's a football name though.
It is a football name. I think somebody should name their kid Hingle McCringleberry.
I think they should too. And then
Like
they
if they
get
know,
drafted to the league no matter what.
like if they know that their kid's gonna be like a D1 athlete, like they can just
Nah,
tell.
you don't need that
Oh,
foresight.
oh,
Just once they're named Hingle McCringleberry, they automatically get drafted. I'm gonna name my daughter Hingle McCringleberry, and she'll be the first woman ever drafted into the NFL.
yeah. Should be putting up elite numbers.
For real. 3 fast
Um,
5U. That's what she's gonna be like out there.
leading rusher for every NFC North team and their stat lines.
Okay.
Um,
Green Bay, I'm gonna go
favorite.
crazy. I think it'll be AJ Dillon. I know AJ Dillon had a really bad year last year, but I think Green Bay is going to be running the ball a hell of a lot more now.
That is
And
true.
I think because of that, you're going to want to go full on ground and pound. And AJ Dillon just has the capacity to handle a larger workload than AJ Dillon than Aaron Jones does. I
This is
think Aaron
true.
Jones will have more all-purpose yards, and I don't think it's going to be like far off. I think they're
Yeah,
going to be
are
pretty
we
close.
answering this as just like pure rushing yards? Like not
Yes,
totally. Okay, then I
a
might agree.
leading rusher to me would be pure rushing yards.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm going to say AJ Dillon for Green Bay. I don't know about a stat line, probably like 800 yards,
Somewhere
800
around
some
there.
yards.
Yeah, I'd
Uh,
say.
Detroit, it'll be David Montgomery. He'll probably have about the literally the same situation
Yeah,
where you're going to be running the ball a good bit, and Montgomery he's a better. This is going to probably get me shit. He's a better runner than Jamal Williams. Although Jamal Williams had a better nose for the end zone. It's just I trust David Montgomery to break off a run more than I trust Jamal Williams. Granted, it's not like the gap is big because neither one is a guy that's going to break off a big run consistently. But David Montgomery is going to get the bulk of the carries in Detroit this year just because Jameer Gibbs simply can't handle that type of workload. Like he's gonna again, same situation. He's gonna get the bulk of the receiving yards from their backfield and probably have more all-purpose yards. But as a pure runner of the football, I think David Montgomery is going to have more rushing yards and probably about the same, probably about 700-800. Minnesota probably going to be Dalvin Cook. Yeah, because
Would have to
I've
be if
kind of
he's there.
soured on Dwayne McBride, and Alexander Madison's not like every down guy. So I think Cook will be fine this year. I think he's going to have a bounce back year, and I think he'll probably be close to 1,000. And then in Chicago, it'll be Roschon. Roschon's going to be RB1 by week 5. He is by far the most talented back in our backfield. And again, he can handle the bulk of the carries, just like Montgomery and Jones, or Montgomery and Dillon, excuse me. And I think he's probably going to have close to 800-900 yards as well.
Yeah. Packers, I'm sticking with Aaron Jones. I
Fair.
mean,
Like I said, I don't think it'll be a big gap between the
yeah,
two if
he's a
Dillon has
fantastic
more.
rusher.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jones. My prediction for him is he's going to end up with like 1,100 all-purpose yards this year. But for pure rushing, I'm going to say like 900, something
Yeah,
like that.
I can get behind that.
Um, the Bears. Who'd you say for the Bears?
Roschon.
Yeah, it'll be Roshan. Yeah, there's no way it's not Roshan. It'll probably
Yeah,
have like 750, something like that.
I think it'll be more than that.
Maybe even more. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
1,000 yards as a rookie, but he'll definitely
I don't think
be.
he'll have 1,000 yards as a rookie just because it's a
Um,
committee, but I do think he'll be pushing like 850.
yeah, that's fair. The Lions, I'm gonna go dark horse and go Gibbs. I I think Gibbs could end up doing it. I think he's gonna be around the 850 mark as rookie year, and then the Vikings probably has to be Dalvin Cook because
Yeah.
Madison and McBride are unserious.
I wouldn't say they're unserious. I like Madison as an RB too. I just don't see him ever
Yeah,
like overtaking Cook. And McBride, I know I was really high on him, but the more I looked into his fumbling numbers, like I gotta know he can
it's
consistently
tough.
hang on to the football
It's tough, man.
before I start to give him anything. He has incredible upside though, as Madison like back because of his lack of speed.
hmm
I shouldn't say
Um,
incredible upside. He has solid upside. He can be a starting running back in the NFL.
yeah,
That's
and
probably the better way to put
he
that.
might even end up being it depends on what happens with Cook and if he beats out Madison.
Right.
Um, Question: favorite draft pick from each of your division rivals?
I actually already made a video about this. Um, for Minnesota, my boy Jaron Hall. I hate that he went to Minnesota. Detroit, Brian Branch, easily one of the biggest steals of the draft. And for Green Bay, Cole Kmet Light, Tucker Craft.
You mean Cole Kmet plus?
No, Cole Kmet Light. He's not as
Um,
strong, not as athletic, not as good of a blocker. Same type of tight end though, same build. It's just Kmet's better at everything.
mm-hmm. Who'd you say for Detroit? I think I know.
Brian Branch.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with Mr. Campbell.
I love
Um,
Jack Campbell, but Brian Branch was a top 10 player in the class, and they ended up getting him in the 40s.
that's true. That is
Like,
fair.
not only do I love the player, but the value there is beyond absurd.
Mm-hmm.
It pisses me off that he went to Detroit. It really does.
Okay. For the Vikings, um, it's Jordan Addison. Probably, I'm a big Jordan Addison fan. His personality, he's a very cool dude. Good
Would you say?
vibes. Uh, for
Would you
Detroit,
say he has a good aura, as the
I would
kids say?
say as the kids say these days, he does have good aura. Yeah.
I learned
Uh,
that term on draft night.
you did learn that term on draft night. I was very
Yeah.
proud of you.
Shout out AJ,
Uh, yeah, shout out AJ. Teaching our boy. Um,
the resident old head of the Run the North podcast, even though I think I'm the youngest one here.
yeah,
You're
you
older
are.
than me, right?
By a month. Yeah, by
Yeah,
mid.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
Um, the Lions. It's Sam Laporta. Uh, good vibes again. Uh, I like him a good bit. I think he's fun after the catch when he actually does catch the football. Can't block, but you and I have different philosophies on how much
If a
weight that
tight
ball.
end can't block, uh, you should. I can't think of a word that rhymes with block that isn't cock. If a tight end can't block, you kick him in the cock.
I think that's what the other NFC North team strategies against Sam Laporta should be. Is their edge rusher just kicks the balls and the start of
Every single play
every single play until he just has to walk off the field
until he
crying
can
and
no longer have children.
never
That's
return
horrible.
to the sport of football. Poor Sam Laporta out of the league in a year.
Oh,
Um,
if a tight end can't block, he doesn't deserve the rock.
that was that was pretty good. I
Yeah.
can't believe you didn't come up with that originally.
Well,
Um,
I'm me. Did you really think I'd think of any other word that ended in "ock"?
True. That is true. You're right. You're right. Uh,
The other thing I
um,
thought of was sock, and I didn't know where to
I
go
didn't
with
know where
sock.
you're going with that
Stuff him in a
one.
sock. Like I don't know. But yeah, if a tight end can't block, he doesn't deserve the rock. I'm gonna start using that. I'm proud of that.
And then Chicago has Tyler Scott. I like Tyler Scott. He's fun. He's
Based.
fun. He's fun. I like
Based. I
Tyler
love
Scott a
Tyler
lot.
Scott.
It's
Did you
either
see
him
the
or
video of him getting drafted by chance?
no, I don't think so.
Okay, so he didn't get a call, right? Because once you get to the fifth round, teams, yeah, apparently
Nope.
he didn't get a call.
Oh,
They called him after the pick was in. I guess maybe it was a time crunch thing. I don't know.
okay. Yeah.
But he sat. All the players, their families will like buy them all 32 hats for the 32 teams.
Hmm.
He literally sat with 31 hats lined up in front of him, and he held the Bears hat the whole time, waiting for his name to get called. And then he got drafted by the Bears, and it was awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah, and his
Sick.
dad looks like Mike Singletary.
Always meant to be a bear
He
is
was
essentially what we're saying.
his destiny. Valus
Um,
Jones is no longer my best friend.
no,
It's
bye bye
now
Bayless, not
it's
Tyler
now
Scott.
Tyler Scott.
You've been replaced. Um, what's the next one? Oh, this is from our. I'll tell you who this one's from. This one's from our boy Tyler,
Oh
and
boy.
he said she's a 10, but she's a Bears fan and hates Drew Lock. For me, that is an immediate zero. There's no redemption from this.
I'm
If
proposing on the
you are
first
a
date.
combination, what?
I'm proposing on the first date.
Yeah, you would because that's just you.
Yeah.
That you're a Bears fan who hates Drew Lock for no good
I
reason,
don't
by the
really
way.
hate
Drew
Drew
Lock's never
Lock.
done anything to him.
I'm indifferent towards Drew Lock. Thank you
That's
very
true.
much.
Geek hates him. Geek hates
Yeah.
him. It's like a hybrid you and Geek, but a woman.
I, I don't
That's
put that
basically
mental
it.
image in my head.
It's like you and Geek do like a face swap and then make it a woman, and then that's this person. Um,
Can we go to the next question?
we can go to the next question.
Like, don't give me that mental image. That's horrible.
Thoughts on Denver? I believe they're overrated. The draft wasn't great for them. McGlinchey will be a complete bust for that contract, considering his struggles in pass protection. Both of their coordinator hires were bad. Vance Joseph and Joe Lombardi are both very bad hires. I think that he's kind of cooking with this one. I don't like Denver
Um.
that much. I think Russ. I don't want to say he stinks, but I don't think Russ is all that great. Um, I
Okay.
think
So
that I
first
should
of all,
definitely be. I want to be fair and give him his chance with Sean Payton as the head coach for sure. But I just
mhm.
don't buy the. I don't buy this team as contending for the division or getting that second spot in the division over the Chargers.
No, I don't think they're contending by any means. First of all, second of all, I don't like the Vance Joseph slander. It's pretty rude. Um,
Hey
Third of all, I
man,
have to look up their draft class because I literally do not know who they drafted. I know they got Marvin Mims and Riley Moss, which is pretty cool.
they
You
got
know, I like the Broncos draft class. I'm fucking with this group.
Sanders, Moss, Skinner, Forsyth in the seventh, which is great.
Yeah.
Mims.
So first of all, you get the second best safety in the class in the sixth round. Like I understand teams are scared of the medicals. I don't care. Skinner's that fucking guy. Fantastic value pick there. Forsyth in the seventh, again, good value.
Yep.
Drew Sanders, I don't love, but
In the third.
but hold on. Denver has a reputation recently of taking project off-ball linebackers and kicking them out the edge. They just did that with Nick Benito. If they do that with Drew Sanders,
Cooking,
that could work out. You could
cooking,
cook with that because that's what
cooking.
Drew Sanders is. He is just run straight forward. Uh, Marvin Mims, I like a decent bit, and Riley Moss, white boy DB, can't go wrong with that. Like,
He's
I
also
think the
not
draft class
terrible.
is pretty solid. No,
So,
he's good for what he is. He is the white boy stereotype.
mm-hmm.
High IQ, not super athletic, good in run defense. Like,
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with the first part of the statement about the draft not being great for them.
yeah,
I
no,
think it
I
was a
like
good
the
draft.
draft, but being in the AFC West is tough. Russ is unserious. Um,
I
who else
mean, they,
was? They
they I
added
mean,
Michael
they could
Burton,
still
which is
finish
a
last in
W.
this division. Man,
I don't
like
think they will.
game manager Garoppolo might just carry the Raiders to enough wins to be better than the Broncos. Is the only thing that I would say.
I
It's
don't know. I'd have
between
to see
those
a
two
lot out of
teams.
their defense.
That's
Like the
true.
Raiders' defense,
And
I have
that's
to
the thing.
step up
Like
big time.
that Broncos defense should be nasty
Yeah,
this upcoming year.
yeah. I don't know who asked this question. Don't tell me because I don't want to be rude. But respect Vance Joseph. Okay, he's
Respect to Vance Joseph.
he can cook.
To be
He can cook. He's
fair,
got talent to
think
cook with.
I'm not going to tell you who it was, but think about somebody who, because of past experience, would not like Vance Joseph with his own personal team and Vance Joseph's effect on his team. Um, but
What Cardinals fan do we know?
you want me to just tell you?
Was it Donnie?
Yeah, it was Donnie.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I didn't see that Donnie replied. That makes sense. I
Yeah,
forgot. Didn't process for a moment. Yeah, no. Vance Joseph can cook. Let him cook.
Joe Lombardi. I don't like that as much though. I will say I will agree with him on that
He
one.
is
I'm
a
not a big
guy.
Joe Lombardi fan.
He is a guy.
To be fair, how much is Joe Lombardi going to actually be doing? Like Sean Payton's
Sean
probably going to
Payton's
be
one of the
like,
best offensive minds I've seen in my lifetime.
"All
He's
right,
gonna
Joe.
run the offense.
All right, Joe. We're gonna pay you, and you're gonna maybe do a few inspirational claps every once in a while,
You're
but
gonna do a couple inspirational claps, and on the sidelines, you're gonna stand there like one of those wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube
and
men.
yeah, and what I need you to do is I need you to hold this clipboard and make it look like you're saying something really, really important, so people think you're cooking. But
And then he's just gonna start speaking
they're not even gonna
like
give him.
Star Wars quotes behind the clipboard. He's like, "All right, fellas, do or do not. There is no try." And then Sean Payton just like comes up behind him and disconnects his headset
Yeah, I was just
like
saying
nonchalantly.
they're not even gonna give him a mic. Just gonna put him on the sideline. Like
No, they're
he
gonna
has.
do what I used to do when I'd play Smash Bros on the Wii, and my mom told me my sister had to play, where I'd pick the ice climbers because there were two characters, and I'd be like, "Look, you're the pink one," and she'd get all excited and like think me and her were on the same team and we're winning. That's what that's gonna be like.
Yeah,
Shout
that's a
out
good
to
analogy.
is it Popo and Nona? I think are their names. I've
Ice
been watching a
climbers.
shit ton of yeah, I've been watching a shit ton of Smash Bros lore videos since I've been sick. That's what I've done all day. I've laid in bed and watched Alpharad and Smash Bros lore videos, and I found out like where everybody's final smashes originated. It's pretty cool.
Huh, dope. Um,
Jake, do
this
you play
one
Smash Bros?
I do big
Who's
time.
your main?
Oh, you're gonna hate me. I feel like everybody I've told this has been like, oh, you jerk. It
Uh,
my main is Sonic. Um,
that's odd. I
it
don't
is
think you're a
odd.
jerk for it, but it's different. I don't think
I
I've ever
have
met someone
never
who openly mains Sonic.
yeah, I haven't either. But I cook with Sonic. That's one thing I can
Fair.
say. Sonic and Captain Falcon are the two like that I probably have the most time
So you
played
like
with.
fast characters.
Those two. Yeah, I like my speed. Like
See,
I
I'm the
I
opposite. I like
am
the big heavy
not
hitters.
cooking with Donkey Kong or like Ganondorf or something like that. I do not cook
See,
with those guys.
my main is Pokemon Trainer, but I almost exclusively use
Ooh,
Charizard.
I like that. Yeah.
And then, like on the side, I dabble in some King K. Rool and some Donkey Kong.
Okay, fair.
I like the big heavy hitters. It's just
Yeah.
more fun to me. Like I
If
don't
you
need
know
to
how
be
to use
fast. I just need
them,
to
you
smack
can
you.
cook. Yeah.
Yeah, K. Rool's fun because you can like shoot out the little cannonball and then it'll like hit you and it'll bounce back into like his suction thingy and then it'll shoot back out and hit you again.
If I my probably most played heavy hitter that I actually do tend to rotate into my spot a lot is Wario. That's my guy.
Okay,
But yeah,
okay,
um, this next one. Do you think if Baltimore stays healthy, they win the division over Cincinnati? They
I
absolutely
can
could.
see it. Yeah,
Like I said, they're
I
my dark
absolutely
horse
can.
Super Bowl pick. If
Ravens have
Lamar
fullback, Bronco or Bengals don't.
already have an
Enough said.
advantage there,
Already,
uh,
the
Ravens
aura's
have
better.
Ravens have John Harbaugh. Bengals have Zach Taylor. You know,
Oh, I mean that's a mid off. Let's be real.
it's true. John Harbaugh's not actually that good. Yeah, these
These
days.
days it's a mid off.
But
They've got homeboy from Georgia though running the offense.
Ted Monken. Yep, good
Yeah,
guy.
Todd Monken. That
Good.
should be a
Todd Monken. Yeah.
big upgrade. I'm just scared of what he's gonna do with Ricard.
I mean, I really just hope that he does what they've needed to do and elevates that passing game. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, now they have Andrews and they have Flowers and they have Odell and Bateman and even Duvernay was like salvageable
Duvernay
last
can
year.
cook as like your fourth or fifth guy,
Yeah, for sure. I'm not. Yeah, so
and Isaiah Likely was a dog last year.
and they still have Mark Andrews, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah,
Dobbins, if he can stay healthy, can be a big
mhm,
contributor there.
Dobbins and I mean the
Defense is
defense with
really
Kyle
good.
Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey and Marcus
They need another.
Peters.
Well,
They
they
just
just
signed.
added Rock Yassin,
That's who it
but
was. Rock
that
Yassin.
doesn't
That
move
doesn't move me
me.
too much. Patrick Queen was okay last year, I believe, and they obviously
They're
have Roquan
shopping him
Smith.
apparently.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, they
because they
obviously have
drafted
Roquan
what's his
Smith.
nuts from Clemson.
Oh, Trenton Simpson. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot they got him.
I think that's a mistake. I don't think
Shopping
Queen's
Queen.
great. Yeah, I don't think he's great, but he's better than Trenton Simpson.
Yeah, he's better than Trent Simpson.
Trenton
Um,
Simpson looks lost.
who are
Like
the
90% of
Ravens?
the time he's out there, he
Who are
looks
the
lost.
Ravens edge rushers right now?
Odafe Owe, Tyus Bowser,
Okay, that's not terrible.
um,
But then
young
they're
kid from Michigan that tore his ACL last year before the draft. Um, that's gonna bother me.
let me look
Who's
at
their
their depth
second
chart
round
real
pick?
quick.
That's really gonna bother me.
Um, like who's on the interior? I just worry about that front seven just a tiny bit.
Um,
Uh, edge. Oh, they have Michael Pierce.
yeah,
Is it?
David Dabo. That's who I was thinking of.
Oh, Jabo. Yeah, yeah,
They've got Matt
yeah,
Oblique, who's a dog. Travis Jones is good. Brent Urban's solid. Michael Pierce is good.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, they just need another corner, or they
Yeah,
need like
really.
Jalen Armour
Just
Davis to step up. Although no, they drafted Q Blue Kelly or Kyu Blue Kelly. I don't know how to say his name.
did they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
I believe so. I'm almost
All right.
positive they did.
Well, that's a good. I mean, hey,
Yes,
uh,
they did.
ultimately to answer the question, if they stay healthy, absolutely they could win the AFC North for sure. I don't think there's
Hmm.
any reason to believe they can't. If again they stay healthy, which has kind of been the reason why they haven't won the NFC North these past couple of years. Um, so what's next? What is your rankings of the NFC North quarterbacks? Me personally, it's Justin, Kirk, Goff, and Love. That's not me saying that. That's the person who asked the question saying that.
Was that
Um,
Grayson?
that was Owen.
Oh, okay. Respect to Owen for respecting Fields. I disagree though.
I do too.
I think it's Kirk Fields, Goff, Love.
Yeah, same.
That'll change after this year though.
It'll
I'm
be
not going to project Fields right this second, but with
it'll
everything
be
he has around him, if he's anything worth it, then he'll be better than Kirk this year.
oh he definitely should be. Um
But as of right now, Kirk is the better quarterback. As much
yeah,
as
Kirk,
well, I guess it
Justin,
doesn't pay
Goff,
me to say
Love.
that anymore. But
Yeah, this man's secretly a Kirk Cousins truther at this point in his life.
I've
Um
accepted that Kirk and I are one and the same in terms of corniness.
yeah. How much higher should our expectations be for the Chargers offense this year with the additions of Kellen Moore and Quentin Johnson and also a healthy Rashawn Slater?
Um,
Expectations should be pretty. pretty up
Chargers
there.
at a running back.
I can't remember which one, but they did. I think. Hold up.
That's the
Chargers.
big thing for me. They're not serious until they have a running back that can consistently pick up yards on the ground. I hate to say that. Yeah. See, it's
They did not.
Joshua Kelly, Isaiah Spiller, and Larry Roundtree. Like, I don't know. Kelly and Spiller are not terrible, but they need one of them to step up if I'm going to take them seriously. Because at the end of the day, that was their downfall last year. Was they could not trust Eckler to run between the tackles, to run the clock when they were up big and establish the run. And if they still can't do that, then there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, unless they add a running back. I know Zeke's still in free agency. That'd be a hell of a pickup for the
That'd
Chargers. I
be
don't
a
know what their
great
money's
pickup.
looking
I
like,
like that.
but if they could afford Zeke, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I know it's crazy to say that about Zeke in 2023, but like he would be the missing piece for the Chargers offense. Or just anyone like that you can consistently get 4 or so yards per carry out of, just so you can run the clock when you're up big and not have to throw the ball every play. Because
Um.
Eckler sucks, dude.
Yeah. No, Eckler's bad. Um.
Or
I
fucking run the ball with Horvath. That could also work.
true.
Unironically, like the dude played halfback at Purdue and was pretty damn solid at it.
True.
If you need a
Yeah.
guy that's just gonna, again, he's not gonna be like a home run hitter, but that's not what you'd need him for in those situations. You just need him to consistently pick you up yards, and
Mm-hmm.
Horvath can do that. He's got the vision, he's got the strength, he's got solid enough footwork.
Yeah. I ultimately think that as much as it pains me to say, I don't know how much different the Chargers offense is going to look next year.
Yeah,
Quentin
like I said,
Johnston's
until
going to
they,
add another level to their passing attack, but
for
until
sure.
they get a guy who can close out a game on the ground, unserious. Um,
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say, because I want to see the Chargers do good.
what players do you see breaking out this year, and what players do you see taking a step back and maybe not as productive as we've seen in years past? My
Um,
breakout candidate, my dark horse one is Jelani Woods from Indianapolis.
ooh,
Jelani
I like
Woods
that.
with Anthony Richardson,
I
safety
like that.
blanket for a quarterback like that. Jelani Woods is up there.
Do we think Richardson plays this year?
Um, I would say at some point. I'm not guaranteeing him to be the starter. I think Minshew is a guy you can be comfortable trotting out as a bridge guy. Um, I think Richardson plays at some point this year, but either way, Jelani Woods is good. He's a good safety blanket. So I think whoever's the quarterback will have a nice time with him. Um, and then for a guy who I can see taking a step back, Josh Jacobs.
I don't agree with that. They brought back uh, Jakob Johnson and their quarterbacks Jimmy G. I think he's going to be just as
Uh,
productive.
he, yeah, he's on a contract here too. Frick.
Yeah. No, I think Josh Jacobs will still be productive. I don't know if he'll lead the league in rushing yards again, but I think he'll be pretty damn close. Um,
Wait,
breakout candidate. I'm gonna have to stay home, and I'm gonna. I know I'm being a fucking homer tonight, but I don't care. I feel sick, and the only players I can think of are Bears players.
fair.
Um, Kyler Gordon, I think, is gonna have a better year.
Ooh.
He started to turn it up towards the end of the year last year, and now he's going to 100% be our nickel corner. There's going to be no more like up in the air, like, oh, he might kick outside, he might do this, he might do that. No, he's 100% the nickel corner. You've got Jalen Johnson, who's on a contract year, so I expect him to have a big year. And then Tyreek Stevenson coming in, who is an absolute dog. Those two on the outside, allowing Kyler to go up against, slot receivers, tight ends, whatever. I think he's going to have a better year. I don't think he's going to be like a premier nickel corner or anything like that, but I do think he's going to be pretty damn good uh, for that position. And then in terms of regressing, I already said it. I think it's going to be Brock Purdy. I don't. If Brock Purdy's the starter in San Fran, I don't think he's going to be nearly as good because he's not good. Now the teams have like tape on Purdy and know what he does, which is like one of 3 things, they're going to be able to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, his offensive line took a couple hits. Um, yeah. So I just don't think I don't think he's built like that,
I also think
unfortunately.
a good regression candidate is Darren Waller, just based on what we've seen with him in years past,
Taking a
and
massive downgrade at quarterback.
when he has played, he's got Daniel Jones at quarterback. His one
I could see
advantage is
that.
being the only weapon there, pretty much. But
But
also
they added Jalen Hyatt.
that's true. You're right. You're right. You're right. Uh, but
Snap.
Darren Waller going to Daniel Jones as quarterback. He's an aging, injury-prone tight end. He has been very good in the time he's played football, but I think that his numbers, if he does play this year, a good enough amount of time, I think would probably drop off a bit.
I agree.
Um, do you think Kirk rises or falls this year?
Be pretty hard for him to fall.
I think he falls a tiny bit.
I don't think he will.
Uh, I mean, I know this isn't technically part of the question, but I think he stays the same. I think it's just the same kind of
I
year.
think that's more likely than him falling. Yeah. You add Jordan Addison to that offense, you're gonna have a full off season with big tight end man. What's his name? Hawkinson. I just forgot T.J. Hawkinson's name.
That guy.
He's gonna have a full off season with Hawkinson. Like I said, I think Dalvin Cook's going to be better than he was. So the run game will be actually effective. I don't see a world where Kirk regresses. Plus, it's Kirk. He always plays just good enough to get another year.
Hmm. Yeah, fair enough. Um, what is Fields' floor/ceiling with the current team around him?
His
Ceiling
ceiling is like
and
a
MVP
4,000 yard passer.
yeah, like a
Like
guy who's like pretty consistently like
his ceiling is becoming the all time Bears single season passing yard leader. Like
yeah,
that
like
that
for
is
real.
absolutely his ceiling. His floor though, I don't know. It's tough because he's gonna have a high floor no matter what because he can run the ball. I think his floor would be like a minor improvement from last year because I don't see a world where Fields regresses. So his floor
Yeah.
would just be like taking a few steps forward as a passer from last year, which would obviously you want more than that given everything that's around him.
Hmm.
But like I
Yeah,
said, if he's anything worth his salt, he'll be a damn good quarterback this year with everything they've got around him.
I
And I
think
think
his
he will be.
ceiling is a 4,000 yard, 25 to 30 touchdown passer. Um, and on top of that, he could. I don't know if 4,000 yards passing would take away from him trying for 1,000 yards
It
rushing.
has to.
Um, so I would
I think
say
he'll
probably,
still break 500.
I would still say he could probably go 550 to 600 rushing yards. I think his like you said, I think his floor is just like slightly better than last year, like a just an improvement, but not like maybe like the jump you'd want to see.
Yeah.
But I'm confident he'll be closer to the ceiling than the floor for sure. Um, Last one here. Who do you think the best Bears day 3 pick is/will be this year? You're gonna say the guy that I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna say a different guy.
Oh, really? I thought you'd say the guy you brought up earlier.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Is that
Well,
also who you're saying? Like,
no,
okay,
no. My pick's pretty consistent. I think Roshan Johnson's going to be awesome.
yes,
This is the best pure runner Chicago has had in a long time. All respect to David Montgomery. Roshan is better than him at everything. More physical, better vision, better
yeah,
footwork, even twitchier. I know Roshan's build is a straight line runner. He's not. Um, he's bigger, better pass blocker, better
hmm
hands. The only thing I think Monty might have on him is like route running, but even then, it's not like Roshan is incompetent as a route runner. He's good enough. Um, I would say in terms of like just running angry, he's probably the hardest runner the Bears have had since Cedric Benson. Um, Obviously the best, not the best running back overall, but just in terms of pure like pissed off, run over you type football, best we've had since Cedric Benson. And I think he will be the lead back by week 5. And I think he's going to be pretty damn good for Chicago going forward. I love Roshan.
yeah. My pick's Tyler Scott again. Like him a lot. I think he'll get the chance to maybe show what he can do this year. Um, I don't. I obviously he's not going to be like some high volume wide receiver one guy. But I do think that like he'll get his opportunity. I think that he'll end up being, if not the the second best behind Roshan Johnson out of the day 3 picks from this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
and the big thing with Tyler Scott is like he's a legit 3 level separator. He's a really underrated route runner.
yeah,
And you pair that with what, like sub 4.4 speed. I think he ran a 4.38, 4.39. Uh, good hands, smart. Like he's going to be a hell of a wide receiver. Well, excuse me, hell of a wide receiver for in Chicago. And if shit goes south with Claypool and they decide he's not in the plans long term, which is unfortunately possible and probably likely, then I think Tyler Scott can step up as your third wide receiver / your slot guy, and you can be pretty damn happy with that.
yeah. Um, but yeah, we got through all our questions, and that is all we got for you guys today. So we want to thank you guys so much for listening. We want to thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have been showing us in general. It really kind of hit us in the face during the draft live stream and how well that went. Um, how things have been growing over here and how much support you guys have been showing. So we really do appreciate you guys for that. If you're not already, be sure to go follow us on all socials. At Run the North Pod everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Obviously, over here on Spotify or any other platform you listen to podcasts on. Help us grow any way that you can help us do that. Yeah, that's all we got for you guys, and we will see you next week.
Bears won the NFC North.